And we are back. Again, we're talking food, we're talking health. This is a great show, you know, staying safe from radon and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so with us today, Karen VanPrice, nice to have you on with us.
Thank you for having me.
You've just authored a new book, God Made Organics, Not GMOs.
Yes.
What? What do you mean? What are GMOs? What do you mean by organic? I mean, this is like a big subject, right?
Well, organics go back thousands of years. It's what we all grew up with. And it's, you know, just in the last 70 years or so that the food and the soil has been messed with so much that there's only about 3 out of over 70 minerals and trace minerals left in our soil. So
it's not getting into the food.
It's not getting into the
healthy.
food, and the farmers learned from chemical companies that they don't need to put, or they were told they didn't need to put those minerals and trace minerals back into the soil to get food that tastes and looks the same.
So it's cheaper for them to make food.
It's cheaper for them,
okay.
But the food that we've been eating is deficient, and because the soil is deficient. So there's that, and then the GMOs come up in 1996.
Which is another issue entirely, isn't it? Okay, so GMOs stand
Genetically
for
Modified Organism, or Genetically Engineered, GE. And it's a relatively new science, and it's where the DNA from one species is forcibly inserted into another species. And that's not the same as plant to plant, you know, the old ways of conventional breeding, where they would just take a plant and exchange genes between them.
Like Gregor Mendel, he took his little flowers and would put a flower with a flower to get a different color. But you're saying that, like, what other kinds are they adding in?
Barriers.
Like pesticides.
Well, that's a whole different
That's another thing. Ooh, okay.
But they're creating combinations of plant, animal, bacteria, even humans. Genes. And
why,
because, well, I honestly don't see the sense in it, because it was fine before they started manhandling it, so to speak.
Right. Is it higher production?
Well, they're able to insert certain traits and characteristics from let's say a virus or a bacteria into a corn seed, and that corn seed will now be its own insecticide, or it will burst the belly of the insect that eats it. But what they don't take into account is that when we eat those, and when your animals eat those, the same things are happening in our gut bacteria. And
this is micro. I mean, this is what's hard, is it is so micro. I mean, you know, this rat poison people put out, and then the rats eat it and their insides turn to mush. A dog loves it, and if a dog gets it, it does the same thing to a dog. So sometimes,
and why not, you know, put those dots together?
Right, and so the same thing is, like, basically can happen. Okay, so how do you, and this is a big thing now, we're just finding out about the GMOs. I mean, we're really starting to try to understand. So how do you tell a GMO from a non-GMO food when you're shopping, because it's everywhere?
Well, as you have up on your screen, I hope, we'll have the non-GMO verified, certified non-GMO project. That's a label, and it's about postage stamp size, so you really have to look for it. Or you can look for organic. Actually, organic is more important than non-GMO, because organic is supposed to be insecticide free. Okay, non-GMO is not necessarily insecticide free.
Right.
So because they can spray this insecticide that Monsanto primarily puts out, called Roundup. And it has Bt toxin in it. So they can spray that just before the plant goes to market, and you're still ingesting it. Even if it says non-GMO, it's not grown with the GMO traits and the GMO sequencing, but the insecticide that they put on it is.
And you know, I know they've done tests. I just read about a test not too long ago where they took a family that just eats like normal, like most of us, we just eat whatever we find and it tastes good and whatever. and then they put them on like the free diet, the GMO free, and I mean they had 8 pesticides in their bodies. Within 2 weeks they were down to like 3
Yes.
pesticides. I mean this
Yes.
stuff, you know, we absorb everything that we eat. Okay, so what was it like writing this book for a first-time author, Karen?
Well, I wrote the book primarily because my husband and I share 5 children and 14 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren, and I have watched them go through myriad problems with ADD, ADHD, OCD, depression, all these things over their young lives, and I just wanted to educate myself about why, you know, they were having these things come up, and autism and gastrointestinal and leaky gut and all this, and I basically got ticked off about the whole situation, and I said, well, I have a voice, that's all I have that I can put out there to help people to educate themselves.
Wow, which we really need. Karen, I mean, there's God-Made Organics, Not GMOs available like everywhere, Amazon.
It's
probably that kind of
Amazon,
too. Good.
it's available at Hastings.
And I think we're just going to have to read it because this is a big subject, and if you want to like live healthy and long, you're going to have to figure out what this is. Karen VanPrice, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
me.
it.
I appreciate
Awesome.
it.